most recent patch, 2.15, released at the beginning of April and introduced adult Naruto, along with a healer exclusive outfit. Nearly 2 months have passed since we've received a balance patch to adjust the various jutsu, secret techniques, weapons, ninja tools, and all-around gameplay. The devs, however, have been keeping to their weekly maintenance schedule to cycle around the shop items and event rewards. With the new data mined items and clothing still being discovered, a balance patch is definitely in our near future. Today's video I will be discussing from a competitive perspective with heavy bias, what 4 jutsu I would like to see buffed and which 4 jutsu need a nerf. This will be in hopes to shake up the meta a little bit, but again, my opinion. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's start with the jutsu that I would like to see get a buff. I will be picking a single jutsu from each type from the bottom of their respective tier lists. If you're interested in the tier list I use for this video, I will leave links to each type in the description below. Kicking things off is the attack type jutsu pool. And what better jutsu to buff than the iconic Almighty Push. As you can see, this jutsu, despite its power in the series, is only a C ranked jutsu. It has good damage, easy to use in a combo, and has super armor. However, despite its combo potential and low cool time, the range of this jutsu and the lack of a travel movement makes it barely viable. It has the power to deflect low piercing projectiles, but it's really insignificant. There are 2 major buffs I'd like to see to this jutsu and a slight nerf. First, give this jutsu invincibility frames, similar to HR Dragon Palm rotation. We know that in the Naruto series, the Almighty Push is a superior defense to the rotation, and some canon should be involved here.
世界に痛みを神羅転生
Secondly, this jutsu should hit in a spherical area and damage players below who are using Hiding in Ash or Subterranean Voyage, similar to Twin Impact. Lastly, because these buffs are really strong, this jutsu should have an increased cooltime of around 16 to 18 seconds. Moving on to range types. Here, I'll take the liberty as a range main to diverge from picking a single jutsu and lump 3 of them together, those being the low priority fireballs: Phoenix Flame Scarlet Claw, Phoenix Flower Jutsu, and Flame Bomb. All 3 of these jutsu fall into C tier or lower because they're damage type jutsu with no additional effects. The low cool time on these jutsu doesn't justify using it over some of the other more versatile jutsu in the range type arsenal. So with that being said, I would add a single buff to each of these. Make them armor piercing. I personally divide the game's armor system into 4 categories: armor, super armor, hyper armor, and invincibility frames. Defense types have armored triangle attacks that can be negated by armor piercing ninja tools. Adding the armor piercing effects of ninja tools to these jutsu would be a balanced way to buff these for single fire. Besides, Scarlet Claw is just fire-laced shuriken, like, come on, for real. Next, defense types. I don't want to spend too much time here, since I'd be pretty happy if defense types never received another buff again, but I have to address a glaring kink in the defense type's shining armor: Water Style Shark Bomb. Pros: goes through walls and resets ninjutsu. Cons: everything else. I'd say just to make this thing armored like Dragon Flame Bomb and call it a day. Don't touch the tracking or anything else. Definitely do not give this a healing factor. I repeat, no healing factor. Lastly, the heal types. And one jutsu came to mind while thinking of what needed buffing most: Mind Transfer Jutsu. People paid extra money to get this thing, and it's pretty terrible. The only DLC jutsu on the list. What this jutsu has going for it is its incredible damage and massive reduction to secret technique dodge. But it requires too much setup. What kind of support jutsu requires a support jutsu to set up? What I would buff isn't damage or effects or anything like that, but the animations. It takes way too long to activate the bomb tag, and it takes even longer to recover after you've blown somebody up. Just speed up the end lag and this thing would be in business. Honorable mention, can Great Breach go through Rock Pillar? Shifting gears, let's talk about nerfs. The jutsu I chose are definitely the most commonly used in today's current competitive scene, and weakening them could definitely encourage variety. Now if you know me, then you definitely know this move was making the list, Leaf Rising Wind. I hate this jutsu with a passion because of how easy it is to use. I'd nerf it in two ways and slightly buff it in another surprisingly. First, reduce its range. Require an attacker to use their superior speed to close the distance more to use it. Second, reduce the damage. It's a combo starter with a great hitbox, which leads to the buff. Stun the enemies more after connecting a hit, so you can always get a combo in after landing it. Demon Hunter. You all knew Easy Hunter was making this list. They buffed the damage and gave it a healing factor for no reason. I mean, Zabuza died after using this move. He ain't getting no health back. And on top of that, the super armor animation is still active while this jutsu is cooling down. So you end up getting the next one shorter than 15 seconds. The change I would make is to have the jutsu not cool down until the super animation wears off, similar to Uchiha Flame Formation. And since we're on the topic of getting health back, can we just remove all healing factors from every normal jutsu outside of the heal type? The game definitely needs a type rebalance that I don't see happening until we get a sequel. But for now, allow me this wishful thinking. And finally, Water Pillar. This move is everywhere now. Definitely a S tier jutsu. I'm not sure what nerf I would make exactly, but it needs one. Either the durability, duration, or activation speed, but it definitely needs something. If not, add more viable counters to it. And that's my list for the jutsu I'd like to see buffed the most and also nerfed. Leave down in the comment section below which jutsu you'd like to see buffed and nerfed in a future patch. I believe that we'll get some, not as often as we did like every month, but maybe every 3 months. Either way, I'm glad that the devs are still sticking to this game. This has been Utari, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.
Go!